Okay, a quick recap. So far, we have created a part that's 3/4 thick, 1.9 by 4 inches in size, and we added some corner radiuses to the part, and we have added 7 tapped holes. So this tutorial will be how to create a drawing using the templates that I have set up for you. So our file is already open. We'll go up to File. We're going to say Make Drawing for Part. That is so difficult, isn't it? Just got to know where to go. We'll make Drawing for Part. It's going to come up to the tutorial page, and there's 3 choices. SolidWorks Default, the inch SOTC. That's the template I made for you. We're going to choose this one because we're designing the part in inch mode. So we pick it, and we say OK, and it's going to come up and it's going to do a little bit of calculating, I guess. It's going to come up and bring up the sheet, and we're ready to drag a view over here. Of course, what we want is the front view. That's our view that's got our most information on there. We're going to left click on it, and we're going to drag it into about the middle of the part. We're going to let go of the left clicker, and we're going to just move our arrow over to the right, and you're going to see another little view pop up. Look at there. Right view. We click there, and then we'll say let's go up to the top. And we got a top view, and then why don't we come over here to the right and create a projected view. So I click on there. To quit making views as you move it around, you use the escape key, and you have said these are the views I want. Now to move the views around into the drawing where you prefer them to be, you kind of hover over them and you'll see the little orange line, dotted line around it. You left click on that, and now you can drag your part. Notice the 2 views, the top and right view, move with the part, right? As they go left and right, the top view goes left and right, it goes up and down, the right view goes up and down. So we move the part kind of in the center. We'll move the part over here to the left, a little bit more to the left. I think I missed it. And this part here, we'll move it down a little bit. And we'll take this part over here, and we'll move it away from the edges. Okay, so we've kind of duplicated the dimensions or the part, according to the Titan drawing, although they put their bottom view on there. For me, I prefer putting the top view, right view, front view. That's my standard drawing format. And then over to the right, a projected view. I'm going to accept that. I do have some choices over here where I could scale it. Like if it's too small on the paper, I could make it bigger. So I could, use a custom scale and say make it twice as big, 3 times as big, half as big. But this looks pretty good, so we're going to accept it. Click on it, and there's our view. And I'm probably going to save this thing now because I've got a lot of information here. So I'll go up here and go File, Save. It's going to save it with the same file name as the part file in the same location. So I'll tell it to save. And now anytime I make a change to the part file, it will update this drawing file. So now we're ready to dimension it. So we're going to take a look at it. And normally first thing you do is get your basic dimensions. Dimensions are in annotations. Write notes, symbols, and such as that, kind of like you're typing letters or you're typing symbols or inserting notes and stuff there. It's all considered annotations. We pick it, and SolidWorks has a really nice feature called Smart Dimension. So we're going to select it, and then we're going to start putting in the overall sizes of the parts. So I'm going to go to the top view. I'm going to use my middle scroll bar on my mouse, and I'm going to zoom in until it's big enough where I can see the part. And I'm going to pick the outside edge. You're going to see it turn orange, not that radius, but the outside edge. Click, and I'm going to go over the other side and click the other side of that. And it put it at 4 inches, and I move my cursor where I want the 4 at, and I click there, and I have dimensioned it. Now I'm going to go to my right view, and I'm going to measure the thickness. So I'll zoom in on it. I pick this edge here, that edge there, and it's 0.750. And then my last one would be, well, I can do it over here too, is the height of my part. So I zoom in where I can see both top and bottom. I highlight the top edge, pick the bottom edge, and now we have our parts set up where we can see that it is the overall dimension of 0.75 by 1.9 by 4 inches long. Okay, now that was pretty easy, wasn't it? Now let's dimension these holes. So we're going to zoom in on this front view where all the holes are, and we're going to get it where we can see all of them on our page. That's pretty good. I'm going to move this out of my way right now. It's kind of in my way, so I'm going to move it. For right now, I'm just going to move it right here, right? Remember, that's what we picked. Now we can use the, I'm going to close that note now because I don't want to add no more notes. We could dimension, like we did before, pick an edge and then pick the circle, right? But for holes, seeing how our 0 is right here, we're going to use the ordinate dimensioning. So to do that, we'll go up to Tools. And Tools gives us a different way to dimension, not just a smart way, which is shown here, or just horizontal, vertical, but it's going to allow us to do ordinate dimensioning. And right now we're going to do horizontal ordinate. I'm going to pick it. That means I've got to pick the line or the edge that I want my 0 to be from, which is right here. So I click it, and I drag my 0 up above, snap it, and it stops. Now when I go pick any feature, look there, it's going to put that dimension in there. Like so. Wow, that was pretty easy. So I accept that. I'm going to go back up to Tools again because now we got to do it vertically. Go back to Dimensions. Go pick Vertical Ordinate. Whoops. Dimensions. Vertical Ordinate. I'm going to pick this edge here. 0. Click. 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 And you know, they even added the overall width of the part. I mean, I could click there and it shows 1.9. If I wanted to add the 4-inch over here, I click on one of the dimensions and I right click on it, and it'll give me a choice to add an ordinate to that dimension series. Now I can click there and the 4 inches. So that looks like the drawing of the part that we made. Now we want to clean it up pretty good, so we go back to our note, and we really don't want the 1032 as the body of the part, so we're going to drag it out here, right? Oh yes, it's not off the print. It's still in here, and we don't really like where it ends. So we're going to go over here and we're going to highlight that point, left click on it, and pull it down to, well, we can pull it to the edge of the part. Right? That way it's pointing to that hole. And it says it's a 1032 tapped hole. We can add to that if we highlight that tapped hole and right click on it. You can see that we have some selections over here. That you could change the format, center it up, add some symbols to it, such as that. But we probably want to just go ahead and dimension it like they're drawing. We're going to go over down here, and we're going to dimension that chamfer diameter. So we're going to insert an annotation, a note. We're going to pick the edge. We're going to drag our note down where we want it, and then we start typing in there. It says a diameter, so we can come over to the symbol pages here. Right, add a symbol, click on it, and pick the diameter. 0.205. We'll hit return, and we type in chamfer. I put kind of scroll out where we see it. That looks very much like theirs, right? So I'll hit the escape key. I'm through editing it. I hit the escape key again because you see it's asking, do you want to do it again? I said, no, one was enough. So I hit the escape key again. I'm out of the note making routine. Now what we might do is create an annotation exactly like they had in the Titan drawing. We'll do the same thing again, note. Go over and pick this edge where we want the arrow to point to. We drop it down, and we put in there 1032 UNF return key times 0.380 deep DP period typical. Hit escape again so we don't do it more. Somewhere I changed my font from an arrow to a dot, so I'm going to have to right click that and go see how did I change my dot to an arrow, because I think this is what I want, is this right here. Yeah, something I may have done when I right clicked it, but now I've got it back to a dot, and now I've got the drawing set up to look like their part. Now we can go a little bit more. We can put some hidden views on here, which are very helpful. So if we click on the top view and the little boundary line, and we go up to the top of SolidWorks, and you click on the little cube box there, it's going to say display style. Do you want it shaded, with edges, shaded, hidden lines removed, hidden lines visible? I'm going to pick that because guess what that's going to show? It's going to show the depth of those holes. Of course, now I can dimension those with my smart dimension by clicking this edge, clicking that hidden line, I think I clicked one line too many. Always helps to zoom in on it. Smart dimension, click, click, a 380 deep. So we're just verifying that our solid part is the same as our drawing that we pull from. Now we can even go over here and click this feature, this projected view, select it, go back up to our box where we were looking at our display styles. We click it, and we can say, let's look at it shaded. Well, now it gives you some 3D perspective. Now all we have to do now is save this part and give it a file name. Well, you notice the drawing number was the file name, but if you wanted to put a title in here, it says go to File Properties to change title. File Properties are under File, Properties, and then I've created a title field that we can put in here and put Titan, that's all caps, Titan -1 mill project, right? Say OK, and it placed it in here. We'll go over here, and of course you don't want your name, my name in here, you want your name. So you go over where it says approved, and you double click on that, left click, double left click, and it selects it, and now you type in your name. You go over and click on the date is created. And if you really want to do some more, you go over here to the drawn box, and you can put in a date there. And maybe your initials. Your initial. Okay. Now we've got this thing pretty much ready in dimensions. Of course, it's got some automatic features in here. If you notice, because we had selected aluminum at the beginning with the template, it dropped that in there. Also telling you that this part is weighing half a pound. And it's telling you it's got sheet 1 of 2. Whoa, we only made 1 sheet. Well, I made this template to have you the ability to have 2 sheets or more. Since I only need 1, we'll click on that sheet, left click on it, right click on it, and then tell it to delete it. And you said, yes, I want to delete that sheet, I don't need it. And now you see that your front sheet says there's only 1 sheet, sheet 1 of 1. We'll file save. Now, it was that easy to create a drawing. Now let's go cut some pockets in this part. That's our next step.